Hi you guys and welcome. I wanted to show you real quick how the easiest way to find an AC system leak. So a couple of different tools you can use, and I have them already. Okay, so the one tool is a Freon sniffer is what this is called. It has a little end on it. You turn it on, it makes a slow pace like this, and what happens when it does that, that's actually the sound that it makes when it finds the Freon leak. So if I put it down here, I tried to find it with this and I was unable to find it. So sometimes these things work, sometimes they don't, but they're kind of a kind of a little bit of a pain. Sometimes if you have a leak, most of the time what you'll see is like if the hose is leaking, all right, if the hose is leaking, say right here, like right here near the connection, you'll usually see wetness around here. So you'll see oil that's been leaking out. And if oil leaks out, Freon leaks out before oil. So that's usually going to be it. If it's going to be the hose, okay, it's usually going to have oil traces around it. So you're going to see oil around it usually. So if you look at your hoses, first of all, you go around, look at your hoses, you go through here, if you see a bunch of oil in this connection, and you know probably there's an O-ring in there that's failing. And down here you might know if there's an O-ring that's failing, but there's just times when you can't do that. Okay, so you're looking and you just can't find it, and you've used your Freon sniffer and you've gone around all the connections here and you're just looking and you can't find it with that. Now then the second result's going to come to play. I mean, this is definitely the easiest way to do it, but it's also the most expensive way. So you have this stuff called, where is the can? UV dye, okay? So what you do is through your low side port, which your low side port is always on your larger Freon port. So if you look at the hose and it's bigger, and you look at you see the other one on this one is, can't remember where it's right here. It's buried because I got this thing all apart. So the high side's this one. See how the line's really small? That's the high side port. The low side port's going to have the larger hose on it. So that's an easy way to know. On your low side port, you're going to connect your Freon installation tool with one like this, if you have one like this. And then you'll put this on there and put the oil charge on. Now these on at like O'Reilly Auto Parts are like 30 bucks for one can. So I usually don't go here first because it's kind of expensive. All right, and then you got to buy one of these lights. So they have these cans on Amazon, I think 3 of them for $10. Okay, so I'm going to suggest that if you suspect that you're ever going to have a leak on your Freon system, just to have some of these laying around, buy some through the Amazon link on the video. And so that's 3 cans for 30 bucks or one. You decide. I got 3 of them coming already, but I bought this one at O'Reilly Auto Parts just to diagnose this car because, so you need it kind of in a darker area. You could probably see it with those lights on, but a little bit you can't. So you turn this on and you look for the yellow. It's easiest to see through the fender well, so I'm putting you guys right here. Now, you can see when I put this as a UV light, you see the yellow back in there. You see that? Let me get you guys up closer so you can see here the yellow. Okay? You see that all around, that bolt right in the middle of all that? Right. See if I can get you guys up closer again. Right, if I can get my finger on it. Right there. That thing you're looking at is the low side Freon, and it's kind of near the exhaust, so that kind of tells you that that's probably why that's leaking. So you can see oil was coming out around the base of that thing. It wasn't, if it was the compressor, it would be somewhere like in the seam over here, and then you can also see over here, what do we see there? A little bit of, that's actually just the color of that, but you can see a little bit around This is the other, you see that bolt right in there in the middle of the camera. That's the other O-ring for the high side. So, and you see a little bit of green around, or whatever it is, the yellow, I want to call it yellow, around the base of that. And so that one's leaking too. So both O-rings are leaking. So you can usually see right where it's coming from with this stuff, but you gotta kind of still use your brain a little bit and know that where you're seeing that, it's definitely coming out around. So there's an O-ring, you can kind of see that's the hose coming up there, right here. This part right here is the AC hose, and at the base of that, where it connects to the compressor, there's an O-ring in there. Or in some cases there's a gasket, but most of the newer cars you're going to be looking at now, unless you got something from the 80s, is going to be a O-ring. Okay, so you take off that one bolt. Once the system is all, discharged, you take off that one bolt, pull that off, and there's an O-ring behind in there, and then replace that O-ring, and that should fix the leak. So that's how you find them. One of the ways to find them, the Freon sniffer is one way, and then these UV cans, again, buy them on Amazon. The same can, the same stuff, and you need one of these lights. It's just basically a black light. As you can see, it's blue. Black light. Get a decent quality one. I got this one on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description for it. And once you do that, then it's much easier to find your Freon leaks. I didn't see any other leaks in this car, so we're going to go ahead and replace those O-rings and get this thing back on the road with some AC. So anyway, I hope that helps you guys. If you have AC leaks, best ways to find them. Again, first of all, look for the oil around the hoses. That can usually be a telltale sign that you have a leak, because oil leaks slower than air, right? So if it's liquid, it's going to leak a lot slower. So if it's got oil, if you see oil residue around the hose, 99.9% of the time that hose is leaking. So usually what I'll do, if I see the oil first, I'll just forgo buying this because it's $30 or 10, even 10 on Amazon, and I'll just buy the hose because I'll be buying it anyway. So anyway, that's it for this, guys. I hope that helps you. I'll talk to you in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe.